Hey guys, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on how I blow dry my bangs. My hair is wet. This is the length of my bangs right now. I have a full bang. I am growing them for summer. Not totally out, but as you can see, they're kind of like in my eyes, so they're a little longer. And the first important thing to know about blow drying a bang is you must comb them quickly when you get out of the shower in the direction that is gonna help you style them the best. So for me, for example, I have a cowlick right here. So you can see that my hair wants to kind of bend right here. And when my hair is long, I can use it for volume. But when my hair is short, if my towel is on my head too long, more than like 5 minutes when I get out of the shower, it pulls the hair back right into that cowlick, and so it's really, really hard for me to get it down to lay like this. And I also have like a bunch of little baby hairs right here, so those also kind of get like stuck up in the towel. So when I get out of the shower, I immediately take my I take my brush and I brush out my hair like this, and then I comb all of my bangs down like that. So you can see that they've air dried for the past like 10 or 20 minutes, but do you see how they're already starting to have memory to where I combed them? So I maybe already let them sit a little too long. See what they're doing? So you want to comb them and basically just like get them out of the towel and get them combed down. So for me, it's really important to get this part, especially on this side, but for both sides, combed down like that. And then even if I have to walk around with them like that and air dry for a little while, that's fine. Because when I do introduce heat, they're gonna blow dry a lot easier, where if they're up for too long, there's no way that I can retrain them to go down. So the two brushes that I use are the vent brush and a round brush. And basically what you're gonna do is blow dry everything forward. Now I do this with all of my clients regardless of whether or not they have bangs, because the finish, when I'm done I'll show you, is a very staggered part with a lived-in volume right here, but also gives the illusion of kind of like a smaller forehead. It hugs the face a little bit more, and that seems to be in style for the past couple of years. So I always blow dry everyone's hair forward with the vent brush till it's like 99.9% dry, and then I go in and smooth everything with the round brush, and then I blow it back. So I do the same technique whether they have bangs or not, and if they don't have bangs, when I blow it back, they have a swoopy blow dry, and everybody seems to love it. I have very few clients that have a different style, like actually maybe one. So this is how I do it. Take your vent brush and blow dry everything forward. And I kind of go back and forth, side to side like this. The going back and forth side to side is so that if you do have a growth pattern or a cowlick, you're confusing it. And you want the hair to hug your forehead. So you're gonna get all the moisture out. You can see my bangs are totally dry. And I go back and forth like this. And I do this even with people who don't have bangs, okay? Back and forth. So now I'm gonna take my round brush and I'm going to do a blow here, which is down at the ends. And then I'm gonna split the bangs like this, okay? I'm gonna leave my hairline down, and I'm gonna give a little bit of volume right here, blow drying everything forward, and it just smooths everything out. So the reason for the second section up here, like this, is because I want to get a little volume right behind my hairline. So if you were to flip this up, which I'm not going to do yet because I'm letting them cool, if you were to go up about an inch behind my hairline, sometimes if you only blow dry this bottom part, you get flat right here. Okay, so I go back right behind the hairline and I just kind of lift some volume here. I don't take the brush up at my hairline like that. I keep it down around my eyebrows. Okay, so now it's dry. Now you're gonna take your blow dryer and you're gonna blow it back like this. Okay, and now I go back to my vent brush and I decide where I want my part to be. So I'm gonna blow it back and then decide where I want my part to be. And if you need to, I usually don't, especially because the length of my bangs, but if you need to create a bend, then you would feather both sides like this. I don't usually need to do that, but I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so you're gonna go back like this and brush everything back. Okay. And now you can decide where you want your part to be. So, my hair, see, it kind of started to dry where I had it split, so I guess we're just gonna have to go with that. Okay, so that's where my part is gonna be. Get that where it wants to go. I'm doing this without a mirror, so I'm doing it in the screen. All right, so now the final thing you would do is you would take your blow dryer and direct everything like feathered. So I'll do that. I'm gonna do it on low. Okay, like this. Whoops. Let's do the other side. The reason I don't really do that right now is because they're a little too short. That last motion would be like if your bangs were long, but obviously my bangs are very short, so to be feathering them just doesn't make sense. Okay, so now comes like the manipulation and a little bit of hairspray to figure out how they're gonna stay for the rest of the day or 2 days or 3 days or whatever. So what I do is take my fingers and smooth. Can you see these little hairs? I don't have a ton of them, but some people have a ton of them. So right now is maybe when you would spray your fingers like this, very little, and just kind of smooth those hairs into your bangs. And then what I do is I do this twisting motion with my fingers. See what that does? Okay? That's what the feathering would do with the blow dryer if my hair was a little bit longer, but my bangs are pretty short. So I take my fingers and I do this little feather or a twisting motion and it feathers the bangs, okay? So I'm gonna do that on both sides. Kind of twist it away from my face, smooth everything together. And then what I do is I take and I get it really, I push it down really close to my face like that and I spray it, okay? Like a soft mist. So then, oh, and I'm using the Strengthening Control or Soft Finish Hairspray from Pureology. I'm very picky about hairspray in my bangs. I'm not picky about hairspray in my hair, but in my bangs is very, it has to be particular. Okay, so now you've got like a little foundation there. And now I will spray almost like the ends here so they all stay together. Okay. So I'm gonna do like that. and then I do this, okay? So that spray I aimed at right here. Because do you see how that's like all glued and stuck together now? Right there. All right. So that's pretty much it. So now let me do the other side. And you always want to do your bangs first, okay? Because the rest of your hair, especially if it's long, there's weight, it's more like you can manipulate it more. But if your bangs dry, if you let them dry too long and you don't get them how you want, especially with cowlicks or short pieces, you may not be able to, you may have to re-wet them. And even re-wetting them isn't enough. Like my cowlick is so strong that even re-wetting it isn't enough. Sometimes it has to be like completely saturated in the shower. All right, so I'm gonna kind of push down here and I'm gonna twist these little pieces and I'm gonna spray like that part. And that's just gonna give it a little bit of hold, see? So now I can really get that swoop and then spray that part. And spray my mouth. Okay. So these are still a little bit warm, so they're very malleable, but you can see that I've created a shape here and I've used my hairspray to kind of glue the parts that I want to stay. And I'm always kind of like pushing forward and pushing up at the root because you want your volume right here, right? But you want it to be kind of collapsed through here. This is just for like a curtain bang. Okay, now I'm gonna like move the rest of my hair out of the way. So hopefully you can see we have a delivery coming since my dogs are barking. Okay, I hope that having my hair pulled back, you can kind of see. I'm gonna step in front of the mirror so that I just can make sure. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I blow dry my bangs. Sometimes what I'll do is this. I will leave them like that for a little bit, but then they feel like too stiff and too separated from the rest of my hair. So I'll blow dry the rest of my hair and then I'll just, because they're already styled the way I want them, I already have the hairspray in them. They're pretty much good to go. I want to incorporate them with the rest of my hair. Sometimes once I blow dry the rest of my hair, I'll just brush through everything and I'll repeat all those steps without the blow dryer. Like just give them a fresh brush, even through the hairspray, like brush it out, and then just kind of reposition them the way I want, like this, and then kind of respray them, but more like a mist from a distance, okay? So the second round of styling is just a lot softer, okay? So that's it. That's the curtain bang. I'm gonna blow dry the rest of my hair, and yeah, this is just like a transition away from a full bang into like a swoopy bang, because as you can see, there's still very little pieces here, which I'm fine with, but sometimes you just need to spray them in. And the other thing I really like about that hairspray, as you can see, is it has a lot of shine. See, it doesn't have that like matte finish. It gives a lot of shine to the hair, so it looks really natural. Okay, so good luck, and that's how I style my bangs.